Who's that girl? Me. Seriously. Like I literally had to like remind myself like, girl, you're not only cut out for this. I've literally been training to do this my entire life. What's up, everybody? It's your girl Songbird, and it's part three. I'm so glad that y'all stuck it out with me. I'm sure by now you're tired of hearing me talk and can't wait to see somebody else sitting here with me. But again, I really do appreciate y'all staying tuned with me. If you haven't had an opportunity to check out parts one and two, I definitely encourage you to go back. This is probably the most real y'all gonna get out of me, okay? So you might want to watch it before I change my mind and take it down. I'm kidding. Where do we leave off? Honestly, just talking about the shift, right? So part one, I just kind of talked about how I wound up going into that break. Part two, we actually talked about the break and what that was like for me, and just as a creative in general, how hard that was. And then, what I really just want to talk to you guys about now is just like some of the things that really helped me get back in my groove. And for starters, I really do hope that me sharing this with y'all doesn't come across like cringe or even unauthentic. Like, I'm genuinely feeling in my heart that this is going to help somebody. Like, I really do feel like someone is going to watch this and feel like, okay, so I do have the green light to take a break. Okay, it is okay if you don't actually know what to do next and you need to just take a step back. Like, I think a lot of us get scared to come out of the spotlight thinking like that it won't still be there. Look at your favorite artist, look at your favorite actor. Ask yourself when the last time was you saw them do something. Are they irrelevant to you now just because they haven't put out an album since 2005? Does it make them less great at their craft because they haven't done it in X amount of time? So I really hope that, you receive that and really feel that and accept that within yourself, because it's something that I had to learn, and it is what has helped me get over that hump, right? So I'm sure y'all can see I got my little laptop here. One of the things that really helped me get my groove back, Stella got her groove back. One of the things that helped me get my groove back, you guys, was just going back and watching my old episodes. I mean, I'm talking like from episode one, right? Like just seeing like, who's that girl? Me. Seriously. Like I literally had to like remind myself like, girl, you're not only cut out for this. I've literally been training to do this my entire life. Literally, y'all, like I was doing student news in elementary school, like working a teleprompter and sitting at a desk doing the news. Like I have been training to be a journalist my whole life, and even though it hasn't gone the way I wanted it to, working for some big network or something like that, Room 1002 has given me the opportunity to do that. So when I went back and I started watching my old episodes, one of my one of the moments that I thought was really interesting, honestly, was from the very first episode. And again, if you haven't had the opportunity to check out my episode on the Moves You Heard podcast, I'll give you a quick synopsis here. The first episode, I had never met this guy before I did it. Right? My friend told me about him. She was trying to get him some press because he's actually a Jamaican artist and he was in America for a little bit and he had a show coming up and he needed somebody to just do some press for him. I did not know this man. I didn't know much about him. And, I was like, well, let's meet in a neutral place, because I didn't even think Room 1002 was going to be a thing. I genuinely was just like, you know what? I could just do like one-off little interviews or work press for people. I didn't expect it to be like a real show or anything. And so I'm sitting here watching me talk to this guy. Like we're in the most random hallway in a hotel. Acoustics are quite awful. Like this audio is crap. But it was so fun to do it. It was humbling as well. Just like going back and looking at this, like really seeing where we came from. Like I said, I didn't even know what I was going to call it. I didn't know what it was going to be. And it's funny because when I sat down to interview him, it rolled off the tongue in a way that I never imagined, y'all. I literally just remember saying like, what's up, everybody? It's your girl Songbird. And I want to welcome y'all to Room 1002. And I remember thinking to myself, that's fly. Like, that's hot. Like, and I didn't even know that's what was going to come out of my mouth. Like, I was practicing in the bathroom before he got there, just like, okay, how am I gonna do this? Like, just I was so nervous that it was crazy. So going back and rewatching this, it literally just like gave me the feels. You know what I'm saying? Like put me right back in that place where I was. And so this particular part, though, I thought was just really cool when he challenged me to whistle. Let's just take a quick look at this little part right here, right quick.
Okay, let's hear it.
Are we ladies?
I'm so lit. I am so good. Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
Look, he had the same reaction I did.
Hey, she killing it. Oh my God.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
that? Can we close out now?
Okay.
Can we
That was
close out now?
fantastic. Can you whistle me to sleep?
Y'all, listen, when I went back and rewatched it, do you see how big of a smile I just had on my face? Because that is how it felt to just see myself, number one, whistling like that just on the spot, on camera. But his reaction to it. Like, I mean, he was really feeling your girl. And I'm like, okay, I guess I earned the name Songbird, right? Obviously, if you know the story, I got the name from my friend. Because I am a songbird. I whistle all kind of music, and I'm really good at it, and it brings me a lot of peace and joy. And so watching that episode in particular was one of the biggest just reminders of why I do what I do, if I'm being honest with y'all. Like, it truly just took me back to that place, man. And I remember thinking to myself, this is lit. Like, this is lit. Like, I can do this for real. And it went from a one-off interview to a whole series. And so honestly, that I really needed to rewatch that, if I'm being honest with y'all. Another one of the episodes or moments I can say that kind of just like made me want to keep going with Room 1002 was the actual Songbird episode. Like, just watching myself sharing my story. It was actually my first time shooting in like a studio with a videographer and everything. And it brought me a lot of like joy. Like, I genuinely was like, I'm kind of starting to feel legit. You know how like when you start something, at first it's just all fun and games, but then you really get to that point where you're like, nah, I'm kind of legit now. And that was kind of how that episode made me feel. But then if you want to go a step further, season 2, season 2 was probably the most interesting, exciting group of people that I've ever interviewed, if I'm being honest with you. I had Kyrie Daly on there. I had Flois on there. Oh my gosh, she's so amazing. I believe you go by Ariane now. I'm so sorry. Ariane on there. Sanaj, Stormy, JD Irby himself, and even DJ Ham. And I was rewatching DJ Ham's episode, right? And I was thinking about how, like, when I first started Room 1002, you know, I knew that I could do the talking part, right? Like, I majored in this in college. But I only took one editing class in college. So for a while, I kind of was like, maybe I should pay somebody to do that. But specifically watching DJ Ham's episode, I realized like my editing had gotten better. Like, you know, like when you can just like see like different moments where you're like genuinely getting better at what you do. And so I was watching this particular part right here of the episode where we were just kind of talking about, you know, him collaborating with Solo and different things like that. And I was just watching this quick little moment in my editing growth here, and I was just like very proud. So let's just tune into this real quick too.
I got good friends, let me tell that.
Okay, talk about
What's his name? iDance_Solo, that's him. My
Yeah.
brother.
I see how I
My
threw that
frat
on the
brother.
screen.
Delta Phi Delta Dance Fraternity Incorporated. He was forcing me to shoot TikToks, and I'm like, yo, like, I don't like being told what to do. I
Yeah.
don't. So I don't even know why you trying to get me to shoot these videos.
Yeah.
We shot them videos, they loved it. We was matching, we was in
Look at
sync.
this. Do y'all see how
Yeah.
Talking
see
about
how I got
millions.
them clips on there? 3 different clips. Now I will say that I hope that is not like copyright infringement or anything, because he didn't actually send me those. I got them off the internet. But I was able to like I feel like a newscaster. You know how like when you're talking about something and then the video pops up on the screen, kind of similar to what's happening on this episode. Yeah, follow me. It made me feel like I was doing something. And if you really want to go a step further, DJ Ham was one of the biggest people that I had on the show. This man has a legit following. If I'm not mistaken, I want to say him maybe has like, at that time, I want to say he was maybe sitting somewhere around about 50,000 followers or whatever. So I'm thinking to myself like, yo, this is going to be big. And it felt good to me that he was like willing and interested. Now, granted, we did have a little bit of a relationship before I shot the episode. But again, just even going back and watching that and thinking to myself, like, this was one of the highest viewed episodes. It also got some of the most engagement on Instagram. Right. So it was just like once again, a good reminder to myself, like, you're doing good things. You're doing it, like, and you've done it and you can keep doing it. And so listen, let's keep going. Right. Because I just, y'all, honestly, I could watch this whole show all over again. Honestly, I look at it like I can binge my own TV show. But let me tell y'all, the next biggest thing that I thought was really cool was when I did my first red carpet. And I didn't even know that I was going to be doing a red carpet. This was the moment that I knew that Room 1002 was making, like, it was reaching people, right? Because this red carpet that I did, it was for a movie. And I actually got, like, the person reached out to me to come and do it. It wasn't like I was like, hey, I see that you have a movie premiere coming up. You know, very similar to what I usually do with Room 1002. I got an email, like, from like a PR person. And she's like, hey, there's a premiere coming up and we would love for you to come and cover it. And I'm thinking to myself, like, you talking about me? Like, me in Room 1002, like, you want me to come? And I remember being so lit, like, oh my gosh, I'm about to cover a movie premiere. Like, it was just an amazing feeling. And just being there, like, y'all having to do that research, number one, because you know you can't show up to the carpet. You don't know who in the movie. You don't know what the movie about. Not, baby, you're going to look awful. Do not do that. If you're thinking about going to the BET Awards and you don't know who coming across the red carpet, just don't show up because you will look inexperienced. So I had to do the research. What is the movie about? How do I pronounce the director's name? Because the director and his wife were there. He also wrote the film, right? Just having this opportunity, and I had to get over this fear of asking people on the spot. You know, I'm used to being able to, like, sit down and I don't already planned out my questions and, you know, all that. And I did show up with questions, you know, like I watched some red carpets before that to make sure that I wasn't looking like I never did a red carpet before. But I remember just thinking to myself, none of these people know who I am. And let me tell y'all, when I got there, the director, who was also, he actually owns the film company, him and his wife, Leland and Phaedra. Leland was like, oh my gosh, I am so glad that you're here. I totally forgot to get somebody to do press. Oh my God, what would we do if you weren't here? And I remember thinking like, yo, your girl has arrived. Okay, Songbird is doing some things because this man is genuinely like, thank God she's here. Thank God I'm here. What? You know what I'm saying? Like, and again, what's funny is this video in particular wound up being one of my highest viewed videos. Now, I'm not going to act like it was a bunch of views, but it's more than any of the other videos. Y'all feel what I'm saying? So it's just funny. Like, I took a lot of pride in being able to sit down and talk to these people. And I think my favorite part of this was just talking to Leland and Phaedra, you know, just reminiscing on how they got to this point. You know, this is during the writer's strike and everything. Like, a lot of things were going on at that time. And so that just brought me so much peace. It made me feel so good on the inside. And then one of the other big moments, obviously, because I don't want to talk y'all's heads off, we still have so many other things to talk about, was Nature Beauty Fashion Week. I interviewed JD after not talking to him for probably 2 years. And even the first year that I met him, we had never had a conversation. I won a raffle at this Valentine's Day event that he did. Or maybe it wasn't his event, but he was doing the artwork. No, it was his event. Let me not try to play that man. It was like a speed dating kind of thing. I wasn't even there to speed date. I was just there to support the musicians. My friend was playing in the band that was there. And I won some artwork. But I didn't actually have a conversation with JD. I won the artwork. We took a cute picture. And I went on about my way. And then he popped up on my timeline when I was looking for someone to do my next interview with during season 2. And I was like, yo, I think he'd be great. And he comes on, we built this great relationship, and here we are working together, doing great things. And so when he asked me to do Nature's Beauty Fashion Week, that meant a lot to me. Number one, like, whoa, you trust me way too much. Like, You want me to do what? You want me to host? Okay, that's a whole nother bag we walking into, right? So, okay, so we do podcasts, yes. Now we don't did a little red carpet, okay. But now you want me to do carpet plus host the event, like actually keep the audience engaged and introduce the fashion stuff and all of that. Man, y'all. Okay, so all these little things were happening, and I'm just being reminded, like, Bria, you can do this. Like, you've done this. And I have to say Bria and not Songbird, because I was really battling with that inside of myself, like who I am at the core, not just my persona that I've built for Room 1002. Like, Bria, you can do this. And so when I tell y'all, going back down memory lane like that, and that's not to shade anyone else's episodes. I'm just telling y'all just those specific little goosebump feelings that I got, those gut feelings that I got while I was going back rewatching my own show and just being reminded, like, you've come so far, right? So I finally got the guts to come back. It gave me the guts to come back, and it gave me fresh, new, and kind of used ideas, right? So one of the things that I'm really looking forward to this year in particular, you guys, is getting back out in the streets. I really enjoyed that element of season 1 where I met y'all where y'all were. If you want me to come to your studio session and do the interview in the studio, let's do it. And I want you to freestyle too. If you want me to come to your actual show and do it backstage beforehand, let's do it. If you want to come sit down with me in a close-knit space and just talk, let's do that. If you want to meet somewhere in public, whatever. If you want me to come to a festival, if you want me to come to your restaurant, whatever. I'm really looking forward, because to me, that's what makes it journalism. Right? You don't just wait for people to come to the studio. You don't just wait to be able to see them in person. Sometimes you're going to have to do a little virtual interview if you really want it that bad. Sometimes you're going to have to go out to the person and get what you're looking for. So I'm really excited to just say, like, I'm coming back out in the streets, y'all. Now, once again, y'all, I work out now, and I do go to the gym at like 5 o'clock in the morning. So I'm going to be real with y'all. The super late night shows, I'm going to have to pray on those. I love y'all, I do, but I don't be up like that. So we gonna keep praying about that one. But I am looking forward to getting out there and seeing y'all. I'm also just excited to be visible in more than one place. For a while, it's just been YouTube and Instagram. But I have since branched out. You guys can follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn. And we are also, I'm super excited about this, going to start showcasing on audio platforms, right? So Apple Podcasts, Spotify. So make sure that you check the links below and follow us on all platforms, right? And I love that because it also shows the range of Room 1002, right? Because Instagram is a little bit more fun and free. Facebook is definitely just a wild place to be because it's all kinds of ages and groups, and Facebook is a wild place to be. And then LinkedIn gets to show the actual business side, you know, how we conduct business, different people that we're working with, different brands that we're collaborating with. And then, of course, like I said, audio. A lot of people don't necessarily want to sit down and watch a video. And I learned that, right? Because I listen to podcasts myself. And I also just think that it was limiting Room 1002 by not offering that to you guys. So, yeah, I'm so excited for what's to come. Honestly, I could not be more thrilled. Like I've said in the other two parts, you guys, I haven't been this excited about Room 1002 in so long. And so I really hope that y'all will stick it out with me, that I still have your support. Let's get this thing going. And listen, like I said, maybe in part 1, I think it was, we have some really dope things lined up this year, some really great places that we're going, some really dope artists that we're going to be talking to. So make sure you're tuning in. But also, if you yourself have an event, you want to be interviewed, you feel like you have a friend or another creative that you know, please suggest them to me, you guys. The artist suggestion box or the creative suggestion box, rather, is still in the link in my bio on my Instagram, but I'll make sure to put it down below here as well. But I'm always willing to check out who you think deserves to be on Room 1002. And they do not just have to do music. We are going all things creative. So if you know a Black-owned business that just opened up and they have a really cool spin on their food, or some new business that's coming up, they're an artist, they're a singer, a rapper, creative, whatever that looks like, this is the place for them. And I really want to make sure that I make that clear. Room 1002 is still an all-inclusive, loving platform. I myself just needed to work through some things to make sure that I can stay true to who I am while allowing you guys to do the same thing. So I want to thank y'all so much for tuning in. I can't wait for what's up ahead. Make sure you guys like and share this video. Leave me any feedback in the comments. I would love to have some conversations with y'all. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Y'all, 2025 is about to be lit. I can't say it enough. So until the next time, everybody, please go in peace, go in love. I'll see y'all.
This is pretty crazy to think about. Room 1002. We be on YouTube. You can find me out in the streets, looking for new talent all over Atlanta. I'm really grateful for y'all support, man. Y'all just don't know.